did not tell you?
No one told us anything.
What? Dragic will not play tonight. He got kicked in the calf, so he's a little bit sore. Kendrick has a sore Achilles. He will not play. And both those guys will be day-to-day. Everybody else is ready to go.
So Jimmy will play?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Coach, in the third quarter, you made a mass substitution that really changed the flow of the game. How much we don't usually see that at the pro level, where all five guys come out. How much of that was like trying to make a statement and ignite the starters versus just trying to get production into the game?
No, John, I feel like this thing is taking a life of its own. It just came down to they went on a 20-0 run. I wasn't overthinking it. I wasn't necessarily trying to make a statement. It wasn't anything else that had to be done. It's as simple as that. It was a horrible way to start the quarter, and our second unit came in there and gave us a terrific boost, and I think it was an important moment for them as well, for the starters to see that.
Coach, do you embrace, or your players embrace, the big game measuring stick mentality of a matchup like tonight?
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. I'm sure the Clippers are looking forward to playing us. We have a bunch of competitive guys in our locker room. This is what you want your players to enjoy. You want them to enjoy great competition. No better way to spend a Friday night.
Doc said this morning that you guys just play a fun style, is the word he used, and that he's enjoyed just watching you play just as a basketball fan. When you get sort of the more unusual compliments like that from your peers, does that carry a little more weight than they're having a good start, they're off to they're doing this well? When people say that they really enjoy the brand of ball that you're playing, does that matter to you much?
Yeah, I want our players to have fun playing, and I really respect Doc. So I appreciate him, recognizing, what we're trying to do here, and the respect level for what they're doing is immense as well. They've had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. That is not easy to do, and there's been so much discussion and narrative about the Clippers this year, and you look at their record, it's basically our record. And they've done it with a bunch of different lineups, and like I said, guys in and out of the lineup. That's impressive.
Were you surprised Jimmy didn't get named a starter?
I wasn't, from the standpoint that the fact that he was. I'm so confused by it. I just think it's ridiculous that we're still in these antiquated position. So who's to say what position Jimmy is? Does it matter? I put him number 2 on my card, so I go Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson. I go Bam and then Myers. But you could flip any one of those guys around, and in many ways, he's our point guard. So should he be in the All-Star game as a point guard? I don't know. These are such antiquated labels that I feel like we've moved on from that, years ago when we started talking about positionless. But either way, regardless of how you want to label it or discuss it, Jimmy Butler should be a starter in this All-Star game. It's a joke that he's not. Hopefully this will change things in the future. Bam, I think, has a great sign of respect. It might be the ultimate respect that the players had him as a starter. I think that is cool. That matters. And he better be in, by the coaches' vote, with the year that he's having. And I think coaches, like you say, Tim, I think the fact that coaches can respect and acknowledge a style of play, I really think that they'll respect and acknowledge the type of impact and year that Bam Adebayo is having. That's an all-star year by any measure, and Jimmy should be a starter in this thing.
Coach, seems like lately fourth quarter time is Tyler Herro time. Have you talked to him, or have you been just kind of like impressed by his moxie? Not just a rookie, but he turned 20 this week. That just such a young guy could come in and play so cool under pressure.
My discussions with him often are about, you want to earn more fourth quarter minutes, defend. You better get better on that side of the floor, and he really is taking that to heart. He works at it. A couple of the players you mentioned, before games, he's working on his pick and roll coverages, going through scouting reports, getting to know the traditional 8 to 10 common NBA sets that you can see night to night at his position. The more experience he's getting, the more dedication, the more film, the more drilling, he's earning those minutes. I've had zero conversations about his fearlessness. That goes without saying. We can use his offense, we can use his talent, and then he just needs to continue to commit to get better on the other side of the floor and become a complete basketball player, which he is.
Coach, do you think that it's more your system and the places that he's occupying on the floor, or a concerted effort in terms of Jimmy getting to the free throw line so much more this year?
He's a really high-level, fundamental, skilled player. He's been coached well over the course of his career. Because of the makeup of this team, we're playing more probably at point guard than he's played before in his career. There I go again, labeling. All right, so he's the guy handling, initiating us into offense. So I just think it's a different opportunities for him, but the skill set had been developed quite a bit before he even got here. Like I said, he's been coached well, been in good systems, and how we're using him is really based on what the makeup of the roster is that's different than the places he's been before.
You guys spend so much time and effort developing Rodney. With the benefit of time after having to let him go, how difficult was that for the organization?
It was one of the hardest moments. We had to do that on an airplane after a brutal loss at Toronto, where we still had a little bit of flickering of playoff hopes, and he was one of the guys that, we're connected with guys like Rodney. We'll do anything for guys like Rodney that make it when so many doors were closed, and to show the perseverance and grit, we wanted to make dreams happen for him. And the way it turned out, we ended up having to turn a page and go to a new chapter. We ended up signing Kendrick Nunn later in that short end of that season. But then one of the great moments was in Summer League. We were all out in Vegas, obviously, and we were at Topgolf, and Rodney had just signed his deal with the Clippers, and we felt that we weren't responsible. He was responsible, but we wanted to celebrate with him, and he came by, and he got a group hug from everybody on the staff. He's that kind of guy. He's had that kind of impact on our organization and in this community that he'll have a lifetime recommendation, from us. That stamp of approval. He earned it.
Why do you feel so connected to guys like that? Like to the Rodneys or the guys that you developed, and you found them and you developed them.
Oh, it gives us purpose. We love those stories. We love hearing about players that have had to take on a different journey when a lot of players don't have necessarily the perseverance or the grit. When doors are closed and you have to go through different kind of doors, it just gives us a great sense of purpose and meaning if we can help those type of players achieve their dreams. We want to be dream makers around here for those kind of guys.
I mean, there's probably a little of that in your own story.
I don't know. But this is all part of our culture.
Yeah.
We were doing this. Pat was doing this in New York. John Starks and Anthony Mason. I think each decade here we've gotten better with it, and we've fine-tuned the whole process, going from scouting to coaching to player development. All of it now works together where everybody's on the same page, and like I said, we just love helping players achieve something.